And that's why today I'm going to be showing you how to turn red mana into green mana. Huh, I wasn't expecting a delivery today. Oh, sweet! It's a parcel from YouTube. Congrats on 1,000 subs. Oh, thanks. Wait, what's this other bit? Warning, the world will end upon reading this? Uh-oh. Okay, so do you remember that thing from 2012 where they said the world was going to end? Well, it turns out they were off by a few years. So grab some bulk and come with me to the apocalypse bunker. Let's go! Welcome to my apocalypse bunker. Don't worry, the Wi-Fi is great and the playmats are radiation proof. And seeing as though we're going to be down here for quite a while, how about I show you a deck tech? I've got the perfect one. It's the Millennium calendar. So let's take a look. For just a single colorless mana, you'll get this legendary artifact that reads, whenever you untap one or more permanents during your untap step, put that many time counters on the Millennium calendar. Then there are over 1,000 time counters on it, sacrifice it and each opponent will lose 1,000 life. Pretty awesome, right? And if that's not fast enough, you can also pay to and tap it to double the counters. Because if we're going to be ending the world, we might as well hit the gas. But there's a problem. By the time I've managed to put 1,000 counters on the calendar by myself, the apocalypse will probably already be over. But what if we could share the load? Enter Assault Suit. If we can animate the calendar and slap the Assault Suit on it, we can pass it around the table, and then players will have the choice of either hitting each other with it or tapping it and doubling the amount of time counters, bringing us all closer to total annihilation. But I'm getting ahead of myself because you can't just equip the Assault Suit to the calendar. It's not a creature. So the first thing we'll have to do is look at animating it. Thankfully, we've got a few artificers who skipped ethics class. Bring to life the adventure of animating fairy, and Rise and Shine can breathe life into the calendar for cheap, while also putting 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Meanwhile, Tezzeret Agent of Bolus can instantly animate it into a 5/5 Doomsday Machine, and Tezzeret Betrayer of Flesh makes this all even smoother, allowing us to animate the calendar into a 4/4 and reducing activation costs while keeping the machine well oiled. Now it's no longer just a clock, it's a countdown with legs. And now that it's a creature, let's arm it. I've already mentioned Assault Suit. It gives our artifact haste, prevents us from sacrificing it, and most importantly, lets us pass control of it to our opponents. So why is that good? Well, because if we can't kill everyone ourselves, we'll make them do it. Once they have control, they can swing the calendar around like a divine wrecking ball, or if they'd rather play it safe, tap it to double the time counters and bring us all one step closer to oblivion. But if we want to make sure that they have to make the decision, any of the impetus auras, parasitic, psychic, or ghoulish impetus will do the job and make sure our opponents have no choice but to swing at each other with a big hunk of world-ending machinery. Finally, if you really want to push the drama, toss in Luxior, Giada's gift. With that equipped, every single one of those time counters turns into raw power. So should your opponents decide to turn on one another at the end of the world, the Millennium calendar goes from being an ancient artifact into a weapon of mass destruction. But of course, there are a lot of moving parts here. We've got the calendar, we've got animation spells, we've got equipment, we've got auras. There's a lot to keep track of. So we're running an entire package of search and recovery to make sure that you can get whatever you need to make this combo work. Choosers like Anchor to Reality, Scour for Scrap, Transit Mage, Trinket Mage, and Deadeye Quartermaster dig directly for whatever we're missing. And if something goes to the graveyard, which it will, we can pull it back with Academy Ruins, Buried Ruin, or Emery Lurker of the Lock. In total, there are 19 ways to find or reanimate our combo pieces. So even if the table blows up once or twice, we're still good to go. But if tutoring and reanimating just aren't your speed, then we're also running some straight draw spells. We've got Dig Through Time and Frantic Search to help bring whatever you're looking for to the top of your library and into your hand. Now, seeing as though we're trying to solve a pretty complicated puzzle here, it makes sense that our commander is equally as tricksy. Nimris, Una's Trickster, is a key piece in our apocalyptic little combo. She's the kind of card that's good no matter where you play her. The first time we cast a spell on an opponent's turn, she lets us look at the top 2 cards of our library, one to hand and one to graveyard. It's card selection in one little elegant Fey package. But it does mean that we need to be ready to play at instant speed, and that's where our next section of cards comes in. Cards like Leyline of Anticipation and High Fey Trickster let us play spells whenever we want. Victory Chimes gives us a free mana every upkeep, keeping our plays flexible. And if you're watching this after the Avatar set releases, Bender's Waterskin acts as great redundancy.
Geyser Drake and Naiad of Hidden Coves let us trigger Nimris repeatedly while defending the board, and if you want to assemble the combo on your opponent's turns, you can do that too. Liberator, Urza's Battlethopter, and Shimmer Mia give your artifacts flash, meaning that you can get the Calendar, Assault Suit, and Luxior all onto the board whenever you want.
With all of this, we'll be drawing, filtering, and sculpting our hand every turn cycle while we build our Doomsday Machine. But once we've got it made, we'll need a way to protect it.
The moment that you animate the Calendar, you paint a giant target on your back, so we do run heavy protection and interaction. A fifth of the deck, in fact, with cards such as Drown in the Lock, Mithril Coat, and Amphibian Downpour, you're certain to evade, dodge, or simply block whatever comes your way.
Now that everything's in place, we can simply sit back and watch the fun unfold. You see, every untapped step will add more and more counters to the Calendar, and eventually you'll get to a point where your opponents look at each other and say, wait, if we don't stop right now, we're all gonna die.
But it's too late. You see, our final piece is Homeward Path, a card that returns the animated Calendar back under our control, letting us be the one to put that 1000 damage trigger on the stack and steal victory.
And there you have it, the Millennium Calendar. Teamwork, treachery, and a healthy respect for ancient timepieces. Thank you all once again for 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe that we're here, but thank you once again, and here's to 1,000 more. Now, I've got a pretty long bunker stay ahead of me, and there's a Street Fighter 2 cabinet over there, I think, that I'm just going to go check out, so I'll see you next time. Bye.